The Legend of the Massai and the Sacred Cattle. Long ago, in the vast savannas of Kenya, where the golden grasslands stretched as far as the eye could see, there lived the Massai people. The Massai were a proud and fierce tribe, known for their bravery, their deep connection to the land, and their sacred cattle. To the Massai, cattle were not just a source of food and wealth. They were a gift from Enkai, the sky god, who had entrusted them to the Maasai as a symbol of his favor. The story begins with a young Maasai warrior named Ole Supit. Ole Supit was known throughout the land for his courage and his unwavering loyalty to his people. He was tall and strong, with a heart as vast as the plains he roamed. But despite his many virtues, Ole Supit carried a heavy burden. His village had been suffering from a terrible drought. The rains had not come for many moons, and the grasslands had turned to dust. The cattle, the lifeblood of the Maasai, were growing weak and dying. One night, as Ole Supit sat by the dying embers of a fire, he prayed to Enkai for guidance. He asked the sky god to show him a way to save his people and their cattle. As he drifted into a restless sleep, he had a vivid dream. In the dream, Enkai appeared to him as a towering figure cloaked in stars. The god spoke in a voice that rumbled like distant thunder. Ole Supit, Enkai said, the drought is a test of your people's faith. To end it, you must journey to the sacred mountain, Ol Doinyo Lengai, the mountain of God. At its peak, you will find a hidden spring. Bring its waters back to your village, and the rains will return. When Ole Supit awoke, he knew what he had to do. He gathered his spear, his shield, and a small gourd for carrying water. He bid farewell to his family and set off on the long journey to Ol Doinyo Lengai. The mountain was far away, and the path was fraught with danger. He would have to cross treacherous rivers, navigate dense forests, and avoid the predators that roamed the land. As he traveled, Ole Supit encountered many challenges. One day, as he crossed a dry riverbed, he was confronted by a massive lion. The lion's eyes glowed with hunger, and its roar shook the ground. But Ole Supit stood his ground. He raised his spear and called out to Enkai for strength. The lion charged, but with a swift and precise throw, Ole Supit struck the beast in the heart. The lion fell, and Ole Supit continued his journey, grateful for the protection of Enkai. Days turned into weeks, and Ole Supit's resolve never wavered. He faced scorching heat, biting cold, and the ever-present threat of thirst. But he pressed on, driven by the hope of saving his people. Finally, after many trials, he reached the base of Ol Doinyo Lengai. The mountain loomed before him, its peak shrouded in clouds. It was said that no mortal had ever reached the summit, but Ole Supit was determined to try. The climb was grueling. The slopes were steep and rocky, and the air grew thin as he ascended. But Ole Supit's spirit was unyielding. He climbed for days, his hands bloodied and his body weary. At last, he reached the summit. There, just as Enkai had promised, he found a hidden spring. The water was clear and cool, and it sparkled like diamonds in the sunlight. Ole Supit filled his gourd with the sacred water and began the long journey back to his village. When he finally arrived, the people gathered around him, their eyes filled with hope. Ole Supit poured the water onto the dry earth, and as he did, the skies darkened. Thunder rolled across the plains, and rain began to fall. It was a gentle, life-giving rain that soaked the land and brought new life to the grasslands. The cattle grew strong again, and the people rejoiced. They celebrated Ole Supit as a hero, but he remained
humble. He knew that it was Enkai who had guided him and given him the strength to complete his journey. From that day forward, the Maasai remembered the story of Ole Supit and the sacred spring. They passed it down from generation to generation, a testament to the power of faith, courage, and the enduring bond between the Maasai, their cattle, and the land they called home. And so, the legend of Ole Supit and the sacred cattle became a cherished part of Maasai folklore, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the favor of Enkai could be earned through bravery and devotion.